What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Suppe. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Joe. His name is Set. The map is Valley of the Kings. Valley of the Kings, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's an exciting time to be alive. That is absolutely for sure. And Joe is having a rough start of it. That is also for sure. As the village is moving forward very, very quickly here. Katoska. Yes. 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 Oh, that's so fun. I don't even know. Oh, look, let's first and foremost, this game is already over. Alright, the villager fight starting, but there's priest and pharaoh in this location. The villagers retreating. How many villagers do we actually have here? We got to just skip everything because this is kind of life or death here in this game. It looks like Suppe is going to attempt to get his granary up still on that location. Both players have got 0. We've got 8 villagers actually though. 8 villagers for Suppe and only 7 for Joe. As both players are going to be villager blocked here. We do have ourselves a giraffe over here, though, as the lion's going to get taken down. Villagers coming in. Joe turns around. A little bit of a concave here for Suppe as he's going in. Big micro on that location over here. 6 HP remaining. Villagers falling over on that location. First blood has been drawn. The priest getting taken down over on that location. 2 villagers down. Suppe retreating over here. Now he's going to be pulling back. Can he keep his villagers alive? Yes, he can. He gets a big win there. He takes down 2 villagers and the priest. And he gets out with 0 losses, and he's just going to pull back and live his best life in his base. There is a line here he has to be a little bit careful of, though, as Suppe finally able to start production of villagers. The lion going to be coming in. You've got to be super careful here. Is the villager's going to get chased down? He's just... Okay. All right. All good. All good. So, now that we're calm, Suppe's found himself an advantage in the early game. Now that we're calm, the map is Valley of the Kings. It's currently 1 win for Joe, 1 win for Suppe. And we've just had the gnarliest of gnarly villager fights here in the early game. There's a world here where Suppe could actually take all of his full HP, or he's got a lot of low HP villagers, but Suppe could take all of his full HP villagers forward and try and attack this yet again. But man, Joe's in a really, really rough position now. Losing that many villagers early and the priest with Set against Poseidon, this is going to be a very, very tough one. We'll see how things are going to be able to amount here. As, I mean, these guys are chatting it up. I'm not going to read the chat. That's completely fine. But we do have a 3 villager lead here for the Poseidon in the early game. And there's plenty of food remaining in Suppe's base. He's also got this hippo over here. He could eat the hippo and be completely fine, but he hasn't spotted those just yet, as the Katoskopos did get taken out. So in reality here, Suppe's got no idea where anything is. So he kind of needs to drop a temple and get a Pegasus out as soon as he possibly can. As the hyena of Set scouting around, one thing you do have to be careful of on these types of maps is going to be, yep, the bandit Migdol, and that goes down. The hyena of Set is down. No more scouting for for Joe or for Suppe anymore. But Joe's going to be taking away these zebra in the middle of the map here as well. 12 population at 4 minutes. That's what you like to see. You love to see that, ladies and gentlemen. Houses going to start going down. Joe realizing, yeah, he doesn't need houses for quite some time here. He's going to be chucking them down on that location there. I wouldn't be surprised if Suppe could advance really, really soon here, actually. He is getting his temple up. He's got the food to advance here. Moving over onto this gold mine. He might be looking for a fast second town center here on this map, but he doesn't know where the town centers are. We take a quick look here. We do see they're actually really, really poorly positioned, in all honesty. So a fast second town center here for Suppe is going to be a little bit difficult to actually get up, as the villager is going to continue to eat up these chickens over here and see how things are going to eventuate. Remember, there's no watchtowers on Valley of the Kings. It's a very, very unique map in that respect, which does mean that things like Ares Rush and that kind of really, really strong early game player is going to be super good here. We do see Suppe deciding to go through Hermes here, though, so a little bit little bit safe, a little bit sad, but it is what it is, as the village is going to be mining up on this gold mine. We see the favor coming in, and I imagine immediately a Pegasus is going to be coming out of this temple here in the near future. Do we see that? No. Just no. Okay, well, good luck finding the town center, my friend. As the villagers are going to continue to happily eat all of the hunt here. Now, while Joe did lose the villagers in the early game, he does have the hunt advantage. So he's going to be continuing to enjoy that through in this game. He's got, he does have the hippopotamus back in his main base over here. He can eat his opponent's hippopotamus. Has he not seen this? Has Soup not seen that hippo? I don't know. You see the villagers moving forward here. They do spot the zebra over on this location over here. Soup's got plenty of resources in the bank now to drop that second town center. The Theseus is going to be able to come out and start harassing these villagers. Joe will have to retreat back to his home base here. He is advancing through Tar here, but the centaur comes out. There's a low HP villager over here. Soup doesn't quite spot it. Going to be trying to chase this down, as Joe knows exactly what he's doing. He's just waiting here with that Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh's immediately going to be taking out that centaur. He does lose one villager, though, as that centaur does go down. Nice play. Stables, double stables actually getting dropped down, as the Theseus does spot the town center over here. And Soup looks like he's going to be going for a very, very all-in play here, as we see Joe moving forward with his Pharaoh. This is no slouch, though. This is Hippolyta. I mean, who wins here, Hippolyta or the Pharaoh? Generally speaking, the Hippolyta wins, as the Pharaoh going to be retreating back. A couple more slings of the arrows, and the Gazelle are all going to be going down here, as the Hyena are set to be scouting around the map trying to find something to attack. There is going to be a Shifting Sands or something like that, as we see the double barracks coming down. A very, very unique set versus Poseidon war coming, ladies and gentlemen. Hippocon versus Spearman. Does win for the Spearman, but it's still going to be very, very tough, and the Poseidon can always go for Toxotes here in this game. As we do see the units now starting to push in. The Spearman over here going to be getting taken down very, very shortly over here. We do see the Wadjet on this position over here. We see the Pharaoh has been healed back up ever so slightly, as the Spearman trying to take down that Hippocon there as best as he can. One thing to note about Set and the classical fight in general is that double barracks, you actually can't afford the double barracks for quite some time. You need, well, kind of. You need 8 villagers on food per barracks, or maybe 7 villagers on food per barracks to support the barracks, plus 4 villagers on food to support your constant villager production. So 2 barracks worth of Spearmen is just, it's a lot. It's a lot of resources to be spending, and there's not enough villagers on food just yet for Joe. So we'll see how things are going to go. Joe might be going for farms fairly soon here in this game as well, as we're starting to see some slingers coming out preemptively for Joe, as the Toxotes are coming down now for Soup as well. As we see the units starting to push forward here, trying to break through this location, definitely taking down that barracks. It's going to be a big, big win here for Soup. I would love to see one of those boxes getting set up here for Joe, like utilizing this thing here and then shifting Sands into that to give himself a little bit of relief here in this game. As Soup trying to push forward over here, he's got to be really careful with this army as the Spearmen pushing through. We do see the turnaround on this location. We'll see if he can win this one, as the Hippocon immediately going to be taking the fight there over onto the Pharaoh. They do manage to take the Pharaoh down. The heroes both get caught into this location, and Soup is forced to cast himself ceasefire there. He doesn't manage to pick off that Pharaoh. 1 HP remaining here, as the army going to be pulling back here. We'll see how things are going to go. Now, I do see in the chat Boit advocating for Toxotes here. This is one of the rare cases where I think that Toxotes are a good idea. And the reason for the Toxotes are actually not necessarily for the enemy army. It's for the potential harass on this gold mine. If you went Hoplite Hippocon here, you would beat this army much, much easier with Hoplite Hippocon. However, with that army, you can't realistically harass this gold mine without firstly cleaning up the entirety of the Egyptian army here. So that's the thing. So this is why Toxotes here are going to be much, much better. But we'll see how it's going to eventuate here, as effectively Joe can go Spearman Slinger and defend this relatively, or he should be able to defend this, in all honesty, with good micro. Relic over here, the Osberg wagon has been kind of left here for some reason. It's a very, very good relic. Definitely one to be picking up, as the army looking to take this fight. Suppe has a significant advantage in the population here, as the spearmen getting some good damage on the slingers moving in here. In this fight, you should pull these Toxotes back ever so slightly until your Hippocon are targeting down the slingers, because those slingers, yeah, that's exactly right. And then the Hippocon can actually take them down fairly easily, as it looks like Joe's army is slowly dwindling. The population here is still very, very close. The Poles are coming back in onto this position, getting some good damage done. The Pharaoh here in the back getting good damage done as well, as the Pharaoh's going to start getting taken down. The rest of these units all falling here. It looks like the Toxotes are able to clean up the rest of these spearmen pretty easily. A couple of slingers are still left in this fight for Joe, but it looks like Suppe is just that little bit too far in front in on this position. 600 food in the bank as well here for Suppe. So he's got a lot of resources remaining in this game, as well, as looks like both players deciding to retreat here for the time being. I would love to see this barracks getting harassed yet again to try and push in onto that gold mine, but Suppe taking his time here. We'll see how things are going to be going in this game, as the villagers retreating back ever so slightly here. One villager going down. Nice play there by Suppe, getting every single little kill, and Joe decides in that moment to tap out. Oh, it's a silly, silly game this one was. Oh, the villager fight in the early game. The lions there targeting down. Oh, this is so bad. What can you do? Age mythology is funny sometimes. This would have been a really, really interesting match to see if say, Suppe just went for if Suppe just saw his hippopotamus early and went for those early, and Joe just had no problems over here, just happily ate his giraffe in the middle of the map. If that's what happened, I reckon this game would have been really, really interesting. It's very rare you get to see a classical fight Poseidon versus a classical fight Egyptian. And it really is it's a really, really close micro war, but unfortunately Suppe just had too much of an advantage from the early game, picking off 2 villages, losing 0 villages or 3 villages, I can't remember. But if you just take a look at the civilian count, it tells the story here. Normally you start 3 villages versus 2, right? But in this position, 5 villages versus 8. Yeah, so there was 3 villager kills, or even like a villager production earlier for Suppe. And then he just has that advantage, too big of an advantage here. Look at the resource difference there. It's absolutely disgusting. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.